Algebra Basics. Algebra is a very important part of mathematics. Let's have a look at some of the basics. In algebra, we use letters to represent unknown numbers. However, most often used is the letter X. We write this as a backward C and forward C so that you do not get it mixed up with a multiplication sign. Let's have a look at this example. If we wrote 2 times x equals 8, the unknown letter x represents the number 4 because 2 times 4 equals 8. Now if we have a look at how this was written, 2 times x equals 8, in algebra we can write it instead as 2x equals 8. In algebra there's always an invisible times sign in between the letters and numbers, here. So 5 times x would be 5x. With division, we also have certain conventions we follow. So normally when we have x divided by 6, we would write it as x over 6. Don't forget, the line here means divide. So always remember in algebra to write divisions as a fraction. In algebra, we can also multiply and divide different letters, so x times y is xy. Also, p divided by q is just p over q. However, you cannot add or subtract different letters, which brings me on to my next point. However, first, I must tell you what terms are. A term is either a single number or variable, or numbers and variables multiplied or divided. Here's a few examples. So we have 3 times by y times by z. We have x divided by 3 and then x squared divided by 4. These are all terms. Like terms are terms which have the same letter and you can add them together. For example, x and x, are they like terms? Yes, they are. So you can add them together. So x plus x is 2x. Then we have x plus y, they are not like terms, so we cannot add them together, and they're just left as x plus y. Now if we had x and an x squared, now although they have the same letter, x and x squared are not the same terms, so they're not like terms and we cannot add them together. So those terms will also just be left as x plus x squared. Now we're going to have a look at some brackets. In algebra, brackets means times, so therefore this means 2 times by x plus 3. Now as there are two terms inside the bracket, an x and a 3, you want 2 times by the x, so you want 2 lots of x, and you also want 2 lots of 3. So that would give you 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6. So the answer is 2x plus 6. Often you will hear the word expression as well as equation. This is an equation and this is an expression. As you can see, the only difference is one has an equal sign and the other one doesn't. As well as equations and expressions, you will also hear the word inequality. Here's an example of that. So we have x is greater than 3. So that means that x could have the values of 4, 5, 6, etc. But it can't be 3 because x is greater than 3. For this one, x is less than 5. You could have the values of 4, 3, 2, etc. Again, the x value has to be less than 5, so it can't be equal to 5. However, in this inequality, you've got x is less than or equal to 7. Therefore, the values of x less than 7 or equal will include the 7, 6, 5, etc. The thing that most people get confused about with inequalities is which way round it goes. Is x greater than 3 or x less than 3? A good way to remember that is that the crocodile eats the bigger number. So x is the bigger number, therefore it is x is greater than 3.